Hi, I'm Shelley Amwell, and I'm part of the leadership team here at DCM. And joining me this morning is David Lipsey, one of the founders of Digital Asset Management. And David, we're finding that our enterprise clients are really getting challenged with their digital strategies, and the importance of digital asset management and the complexity within their business really seems to be part of a lot of the conversations that we're having right now. But before we dive into that further, how about giving us a brief introduction about yourself?
Well, Shelley, thanks for the opportunity to be here. I wandered into the field of digital asset management at its very infancy. Digital asset management grew largely out of the publishing and the content worlds when early tools gave rise to the need for, what if we could reuse this content without typing it in again? And it's fun to think back on that and how, as we got involved with early word processing and even video tools, that we started to have software companies that sold that, and I was lucky enough to be part of one of those. In the ensuing years, I've had the chance to work in the software field, to chair conferences now around the world on digital asset management. I've been involved in starting the first professional educational program in DAM at Rutgers University, and much extensive work here with Ryerson University in Toronto. And it's fun to see this becoming just much more part of everyday education and especially everyday work life.
Great. Well, we've got a lot to uncover today, and so why don't we start with, what's the definition of digital asset management?
Well, it's pretty simple. A digital asset can be a photo, a video, a file, an art file, a web page, possibly, a movie. And even Wikipedia has a definition of what a digital asset is as we think about browsing the internet, and all of those things we see, all of those in some mean manner, shape, or form are digital assets. In Wikipedia, we have a definition talking about a digital asset being the binary, the ones and zeros that are running around in there somewhere, the metadata about the asset, and the right to use that asset, as it would be called.
So when we think about organizations using digital asset management, what's the technology that really supports it?
In its core, I'd say it's a database. Nothing particularly remarkable, radical, or new about that as we're talking here today. But the technology for DAM includes the opportunity to acquire those assets, to manage them, and then even to transform those files so that the asset we end up using, for example, could be a small video for social media that started as a big video for a television show. So DAM encompasses all of those various components.
So let's focus on DAM itself. And where did the technology originate?
Well, think back on the rise of something that has words that seem funny today, but we do it every day, the rise of desktop publishing. The phrase seems kind of anachronistic, but how many hours a day are we still actually doing that? And with the rise of desktop publishing came an understanding, and at first a hope, that, well, we created this, couldn't we use it again and just edit it rather than recreating it? And that very impulse is what started digital asset management by and large, and continues to unfold in its meanings and its definitions today. Along with desktop publishing came other, much more, we'll call them portable media. For example, VHS tapes. Well, there's some video content, and could we develop technologies that helped us take the same idea, create once, use many, and work on videotapes? Successive to that came what was probably the biggest opportunity for DAM, and continues to this day, near 20 some years later, and that is the rise of the use of digital asset management for marketing assets. Where's my logo? And a lot of times the answer can still be today, oh, it's in a bunch of different places. But today we can handle this in a much more sophisticated way of, well, we can actually know where our logos are, and we can change them automatically. and we can enforce the changes. So the technology is unfolded in that direction. It helps, of course, with corporate licensing and with many aspects of how DAM is used in museums and for visitor services, but those are the overall roots of DAM. I suspect some of these are familiar to you because DCM counts its roots as 40 years in the publishing business, and I suspect that DCM has been managing its clients' assets for a long time, just perhaps not thinking them in exactly that phrase.
Yeah, we've been leveraging our experience in managing digital assets and really overcoming complex digital solutions for, as you made reference to, more than 40 years. And with our DAM offering, we are building in that expertise and really that practitioner approach as part of our overall solution and how we're going to the market with our clients and helping them manage it for themselves. So if we delve into the technology itself, what specifically does DAM do?
Well, think of a typical workday. It's always a nice place to start. How many times during the day do we look for something? And I think that in and of itself hits a lot of what the essence of DAM is. DAM helps us to overcome the issues that we often have in looking through dozens of files, images, sometimes PowerPoint slides. Where is that? I know I did that. And with naming conventions, with metadata, the descriptive information, DAM helps us just go to work and work more efficiently to find the assets that we want to be using. Retrieving and converting all those files took a lot of time, can still take time, but at least today the files are in one place, they're organized, they're rights controlled, we hope. In most instances they are, and companies want to have them rights controlled and rights enforced. And we're able to understand what the destination formatting is for these assets, so we output them in the correct file type. That example earlier of light video versus heavy video, having a graphic in a certain way because it's going to be used on a bus card versus just an insert that's going to go into a direct mail campaign.
And so if we think about our clients that we're working with today and how they're utilizing DAM, maybe you can touch on a couple of sectors or industries like the financial sector or healthcare, and how they best utilize a DAM solution.
Yeah, it's interesting because sometimes the words sound the same and then there'll be differences. So think about going inside of a bank. Odds are in one's local neighborhood bank, there's a video playing. And the odds are better than equal that that video is stored in a DAM system somewhere, as is the various resolutions and formats that it's sent out, because perhaps that same video is in the app or in an ad that we see on an app. But DAM goes well beyond that. Anytime there's any advertising campaign, say for an affiliate credit card, all of those creative materials or marketing materials would be in the DAM system. Oftentimes, templates are stored in DAM that are used over and over and over again. It's not intending to be a more formal document management system, but absolutely to manage the template. And then, as we mentioned earlier, where's the logo? So if the logo changes, the bank name changes, or there's a merger, we know how to bring those assets together in financial services. In healthcare, another one that you mentioned, the uses are kind of the same. There's a lot of advertising that goes on in healthcare, but sometimes there are other interesting uses for DAM in a healthcare setting. For example, if one is at a hospital complex, one often has the need to use a map. And DAM is a great place to put wayfinding assets and also have them show up in an app so one knows what building am I going to and where's my car. It could even have a picture of the professional staff, a doctor, a surgeon, a nurse practitioner, or something like that. Oftentimes we see ads for healthcare institutions in airports, if they're particularly famous or of a place. In addition, DAM is used at every teaching hospital to store clinical research, and then in its kind of close cousins in healthcare, in biomedical, For example, how to use a new surgical device. There's going to be video, there's going to be training. DAM is used to house all of the assets for medical examinations for one to become board certified. So it continues to unfold in all these different ways, along with core, great return on investment from this is how we manage all of our marketing assets. But healthcare, like financial services, has some things that are, I won't say particularly unique, but they're different about that. And then if we think about all the retail stores that are around us, here's a situation where we used to just think one-dimensionally when we go to retail, we have one door that opens. In a digital era, we don't know where the door is. Is the door on an e-commerce site? Is the door on my app, so I'm in the store and I'm trying to find something? Or I'm getting a dynamic coupon? Not out of the question, where DAM is joined up with a CRM or some kind of other marketing system. And DAM has all the digital signage in it. DAM might also have representations of other colorways in which a shirt or a chair might be available for me to purchase. So DAM plays a number of roles in digital for retail, and it also helps a retailer be ready to say, we don't know when the doors are going, where the doors are going to open. Shelley, another really interesting aspect of DAM and retail is that we shop at places today that started as digital first, something very important to DCM. And that could have meant, for example, a store like Warby Parker that makes eyeglass frames started as completely online. But we can go to the shopping mall and go to a Warby Parker store. So DAM was very much behind the scenes in how do I translate my web presence, web-only presence, to the signage, the packaging, the receipts, the shopping bags, all the things that go into suddenly not only having a door made up of ones and zeros and binary bits, but a door that we can actually go in and interact with a human who is going to sell us eyeglass frames. So in retail, which confronts a changing future, just like financial services and healthcare, DAM is an enabling technology to address an uncertain future, but we know it will have digital as a piece of it.
So when we think about the technology and the examples that you just shared, what's sort of the underlying element of DAM that really brings it together across multiple sectors or multiple types of businesses and organizations?
Probably the core atomic element, and it's the glue-on glue, is metadata. It's the descriptive information about an asset. It's what we all do every day when we're searching for something. We're hoping the metadata is in there. Sometimes it's the metadata that a camera understands. Think of all the things when we look for pictures on our phone. And how does it know that? It knows what street I'm on. So there's metadata that just travels along with the technologies that create content. And then it's fabric chair, how far is it from the arm to the back? Is it gray? Is it dark gray? Does it have green under it? And things that humans ascribe. And the better we get all of this metadata, the better search works. It's absolutely, if we found a genie lamp here on the shores of Lake Ontario, it's the lamp we'd want to read, it's the lamp we'd want to rub, it's the wish we'd want to make. In fact, we'll take all three wishes and wish for better metadata. And the more we automate that, we've all heard a lot about artificial intelligence, machine learning, auto-generated metadata. The better those technologies work, the better that DAM works. And one of the things that's incumbent on us, of course, is then to make sure that we're staffing governance and we're getting the expertise that we need to keep metadata up to date. Words change, language matters, and we need our metadata and our descriptive terms to not only conform to new words, for example, street slang for a product, where if I have some new tennis shoe and it's got a bit of street slang, if my search terms don't reflect that, I end up with tennis shoes on the shelf or in the warehouse. In addition, metadata reflects changing social norms. So we're always wanting to keep metadata up to date and fresh. And it's a big part of DAM and governing DAM for the future.
So the end result is simple, but the dam solution itself is probably a little bit more complicated, particularly when you think about implementation and other MarTech solutions. So how are you seeing companies address this?
I think you've hit a very key point about digital asset management. The geometry of this application changes. It's complicated to get it started. DAM represents and operates as the digital currency in the world today. When we think about how all the things that we've done just today, whether it's looking at the news, doing a little of early morning shopping, getting perhaps children set with or kids set with some online activity, and on and on and on. So implementing this software takes extensive professional work. And one of the key predictors, in fact, in the success of a DAM project is how thoughtfully did we think about who's going to be doing the implementation, what are their jobs, what kind of talent that we need, what kind of talent do we need to make this work effectively? And that's almost a one-to-one predictive factor about the success of DAM. Is it governed well? Does it have executive endorsement? Of course. Is the ROI understood? But most importantly, do we have the people we need to make this work? On the one side, it's not a part-time job for somebody to say, oh, and by the way, guess what? You're going to be our DAM manager. Congratulations. And then, critically, looking at the providers of DAM to help us with those professional services that make DAM work and enable our ongoing knowledge. So when we're doing onboarding, meeting with new departments, I'll go back with an example of that too. DAM probably starts in the marketing department. Then along comes corporate social responsibility and says, hey, I hear you've got this thing where I can put all the video when we have a company-sponsored event or we help a charity or services organization. Can I just put it in there? And odds are there's going to be an impulse to say yes, and then an impulse to say, whose job is that? And it's one of the really interesting things in my mind about DAM is making sure we're getting advice about having a governance structure and the capacity to allow this restless application that can keep doing different things to do just that. And it's an endlessly interesting, in my mind, aspect about DAM is the need for it to work day to day with aligning systems and processes, and then to have a little healthy dose of ambiguity on the side.
So it's much more than just aligning the system with processes and workflows across an organization. It's really about onboarding and training so that people can use it and maintaining a level of oversight and compliance that probably may not have been achievable before. Would you agree with that?
I would. Sometimes we think that DAM is like a giant FTP system or something like that, and file transfer protocol, sorry to use an acronym. So it is much, much more than that. I also think DAM is a competitive differentiator, and perhaps it's odd to hear those words, but if an educated digital professional looking for work has 2 interviews, one of which has a DAM system, and the other of which one walks in and says, I can do more than that on my phone, odds are that trained professional person is going to want to go to a system where DAM exists. And I think we should all work with our HR and our talent management teams to help them understand DAM. This isn't the librarian. This isn't the back office. This is the lively front engagement of us to the world, and we need top talent to do that. Here in Toronto, Ryerson University is widely known for its classes on digital asset management. At Rutgers University in New Jersey is the world's first professional program on DAM. So not only do we need our internal HR departments to understand what DAM does and the importance of this role, we can now ask to see certification and education from our professionals. And that's a nice change going on in DAM, that it isn't just self-credentialing. Hi, Shelley, I'm a DAM manager. That we can look and say, you are? Where did you learn that? And we can also support our current DAM professionals in getting ongoing education through the services of the Henry Stewart conferences, the Rutgers program, and more and more and more to get an educated workforce to go to work on these complicated projects. Shelley, one of the questions that came to my mind in thinking about this time with you today is DAM has got to be somewhat important here at DCM. 40 years of printer. Those assets are probably pretty digital. And what are some of the ways that DAM is used here at DCM and for your clients?
Yeah, well, our DAM has become our digital go-to, and we use it as the central source for all of the individuals and employees across the organization, both here in Canada and North America, as an access point in order to retrieve files and ensure that we've got them in a secure location. And you were talking about metadata earlier, so it's really our starting point was really grappling with what are those conventional requirements that we need in order to attribute to each of the assets, and then managing that in a manner by which has the ability for all of the individuals to get access to the assets that they require.
It is interesting to think about having one platform to do that, and metadata truly is the key, what should we say, the key to the province? But it's the thing that if we were to walk along the shores of Lake Ontario close by, and we did find the proverbial genie lamp, we would rub it and we would use all three wishes for metadata. It's just what makes things work. For your clients, are some of them starting to automate some processes using DAM?
Yeah, a lot of them we see that is just typically a starting point, or the second point in the conversations that we're having is the importance of workflow automation. And we leverage that today with our Flex platform, but we are extending that into digital asset management and leveraging that software in order to extend it to different areas of their business.
It is nice how DAM gives us both the opportunity to cascade workflows through and around and about different parts of a company, and also to see how a dramatic improvement, even in a short time, in accuracy and hopefully efficiency can occur when DAM is deployed. It's not always an easy journey, but in marketing today, with its personalization and segmentation and multiple channels, any campaign can be very, very complex. And I know DCM's involved in many such types of operations. So to have the assets stored centrally, to have them consistently retrievable has got to be quite valuable for you internally. Yeah, speed to market. I think that is, along with, we don't know where the door is. Right. We don't know how quickly that darn door is going to open, because they do open much more quickly today. And there's an interesting use of DAM that can be kind of fun in crisis management, when sometimes doors need to open unexpectedly. There's a product recall in a food sector, or there's a circumstance where we have to have response to an oil spill, for example. And DAM is quite commonly used today to manage those in situ assets that were not predictable from a marketing campaign being planned down the road. And that's part of bringing home the point that there is no future without DAM, that we don't know where we're going to need digital, we know we're going to need digital. Having that framework to give us the chance to manage all of these assets in our steadily expanding content universe is something that this technology does. Does it do it perfectly? I don't know. I don't even know what that word means for DAM. I know how important people are to this, how important top management support is for this. It takes an investment through time. It's a hard budget item. It's not just something we do on the side. And it takes the people whose job it is to do DAM and have the training, retraining, vendor support, and other things that go into the elixir of making this digital currency go to work for us.
Well, I want to take the opportunity to thank you, David, for joining me this morning to have this conversation about DAM. It's really exciting for us at DCM as we explore our digital first strategy, and having someone like yourself here to talk through what you've seen, what you've lived through, what you've experienced, but also the exciting future that lies ahead. So thank you again.
I'm delighted to be here. We don't know exactly where this will go, but we do know that the doors to the digital world will never close. And it's great to have the chance to contribute and to talk with you. Thanks, Shelley.
Great, thank you.